the Transfiguration of the Lord. Dear friends, the Transfiguration is an important religious feast. If it falls on a Sunday, it prevails over the Sunday liturgy. When Lent had penance tougher than today, this passage was placed in the middle of the Lenten season as encouragement to overcome the Lenten difficulties. The passage shows us the superiority of Jesus over leaders of the First Alliance. The voice that the Father sends us commands us to listen to Jesus more than all of them. Have a happy feast. Matthew chapter 17, verses 1 through 9. This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased. Listen to him. Proclamation of the Holy Gospel according to Saint Matthew. 6 days later, Jesus took Peter and James and his brother John and led them up a high mountain where they could be alone. There, in their presence, he was transfigured. His face shone like the sun, and his clothes became as white as light. Suddenly, Moses and Elijah appeared to them. They were talking with them. Then Peter spoke to Jesus. "Lord," he said, "it is wonderful for us to be here. If you wish, I will make 3 tents here, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." He was still speaking when suddenly a bright cloud covered them with shadow. And from the cloud there came a voice which said, "This is my Son, the Beloved. He enjoys my favor. Listen to him." When they heard this, all disciples fell on their faces, overcome with fear. But Jesus came up and touched them. "Stand up," he said. "Do not be afraid." And when they raised their eyes, they saw no one but only Jesus. As they came down from the mountain, Jesus gave them this order: "Tell no one about the vision until the Son of Man has risen from the dead." The word of the Lord. Father Patxi's commentary. Greetings, dear friends. Today's passage is a precious composition of the evangelist placed after the proclamation of the Passion and the Cross, with brilliant symbolism. It reflects the soul of Jesus, his patience, and his preaching. On a day like today, this story is a strong invitation to put Jesus at the center of our lives and our communities. The 3 chosen disciples were Jesus' closest friends and had the greatest yearnings for greatness and power. They longed for the warlike and triumphant Messiah of the Old Testament, who would make them ministers of his kingdom. The presence, together with Jesus and the 2 great ancient prophets, Moses and Elijah, represent that vision of the Messiah, the liberator of Israel. Peter and the other disciples with him had just received a great blow from Jesus for opposing his radical commitment to a world of solidarity. But seeing him matched with Moses and Elijah, they felt perhaps that their dreams of greatness could revive, despite the clear words of Jesus in the previous verses. "Whoever wishes to be a disciple of mine, let him deny himself. Let him take his cross and follow me." That made Peter emotional. He wanted to stay there with the 3. That is, in that hope of the First Testament that caressed his heart. Then a cloud surrounded them, and a cry was heard from above. "This is my beloved Son." This is the expected one. Do not doubt it. Listen to him. To him alone. The shock was tremendous, as always when the mystery presents itself to us. Jesus came to help them and touch them to get them out of their fears and dreams. Rise, do not be afraid. They opened their eyes and saw that the two characters of the past were no longer there, and there was Jesus only. The ancient time was over. God's new time has started with a completely different Messiah, a warrior without weapons, a fighter without an army, a victor without warlike victories, who practiced and taught humility, service, supportive poverty, and an energetic but non-violent commitment for a new land. It is a great revelation. Those who use only or mainly the Old Testament, as it happens with a great part of the Christians of Asia, must meditate upon it deeply. May we feed mainly on the New Testament, and when we read the Old, hopefully we do it from the perspective of the New. I invite you to ask yourself in all sincerity, is Jesus the center of my faith? Do I feel Him as my only Savior and my teacher? Prayer. Listen to Him, who said that the transfiguration was a blow of breath after the sovereign blow of Jesus to his friend Peter. He showed them His glory, but also that they were living in the past. They had lost their time. There was no Messiah, the captain of victories, anymore, nor a Messiah, the king, distributing ministries. It was not Moses receiving messages on a mountain. Neither was Elijah, the one crossing space in a chariot of fire. Elijah did not divide the space upon that chariot of fire, but the new Elijah had landed to prepare the field for another tillage. Peter was joyful with his 3 equal prophets. He just wanted to make 3 tents. Everything sounded the same as in the first stage, until the cloud covered them without respect, and the voice resounded like a blow to the head. Enough! Enough of doubts and misgivings. The past is gone, and the new has begun. This is my son. Listen to him. Poor Peter, looking sinister. There were 3, and now there is only 1. He was baffled, the voice ringing in his ears like a huge thunder. Listen to him. Listen to him. Wake us up, Jesus, from the dream, with the imperious voice of your Father, so we put you in the center. And may you, always you, above all, our teacher,